What is the best MIDI head of 2023? Well, today we have some answers. After polling our audience, we received hundreds of comments and compiled all of the answers into a giant Google sheet. But we didn't stop there. We worked with our buddies at SportsStop and received exclusive sales data to see exactly what MIDI heads are actually flying off the shelves. And lastly, we hired intern Laxbro Jeremy to scour every MIDI head review on the internet and report back on what he found. We took his opinion with a grain of salt. But after compiling all of that data, we put it into our algorithm and it spit out the 4 best MIDI heads of 2023. And we have all 4 of those midfield heads in studio today. So in this video, we are going to break down the 4 best midfield heads of 2023. Let's do it. Hey guys, Steve here with Lax Farmer. Before we dive into these midfield heads, I want to break down 3 important things you want to keep in mind when shopping for a MIDI head. The first is durability. How stiff is the head and how long will it last for you out on the field? The second is face shape. A more pinched face shape lends itself towards offensive midis, while a wider face shape is typically better for two-way midis or defensive midis. And third is scoop. How easy is it to scoop up ground balls? We're going to be talking about all of these things as we dive into these midfield heads today. It's also important to note that these are not face-off heads. I will be doing another video on the best face-off heads soon, so be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for that video. With that being said, let's dive into these heads. The 4th best MIDI head of 2023 is the Nike Lakota 3. This head comes in at 4.6 ounces unstrung, which makes it very light for a midfield head. And even though it's so light, Nike constructed this head stiffer and with a tighter face shape than the Lakota 2. That makes this head durable and a favorite for offensive midis. The L3 has been out for 2 years now, so its durability has been tested. It is one of the most durable MIDI heads you're going to find. Ask anyone what's their favorite aspect of the Lakota 3. Its durability is usually at the top of that list. The Lakota 3 is built for a mid or high pocket and has a super smooth, consistent, accurate release when strung up. Overall, the Lakota 3 is a fantastic MIDI head for offensive midis, two-way midis. I've honestly not heard a single negative review when it comes to the Lakota 3. Anyone that has a Lakota 3 typically only has positive things to say about it. It comes in at $99 unstrung, which is the standard when it comes to midfield heads. So I don't think you can really go wrong by picking up a Lakota 3 as a midfielder. The 3rd best MIDI head of 2023 is the Stallion 1K. STX just released this head this past year, so it's hot off the presses, brand spanking new, and it's receiving tons of positive reviews. What makes this head special is that STX released the Stallion 1 18 years ago with one of the greatest midfielders of all time, Kyle Harrison. So after nearly 2 decades of improvements and upgrades, they've made their way to the 1K, which they advertise as the elite all-around midfielder head. Now, I personally use the STX Stallion 900. I bought it just a couple months ago, and anyone who's been watching the channel knows I've been stinging corners with that thing. So when we bring in the 1K, it's very, very similar to the Stallion 900. Its main difference is the speed scoop. STX improved the scoop design and smoothed out the surface to make picking up ground balls easier. The Stallion 900 has these carved out areas that make the top of the head more uneven. I think they did this to reduce the weight of the head, but the 1K has this smoothed out surface for making scooping GBs much easier. Both heads have the deepest legal offset possible, which means this head is great for ball retention and hold. As a MIDI, cradling should be easier and running through traffic with the ball in your stick should be better than almost any other head out there. But again, other than the scoop, this head is nearly identical to the 900. Both are constructed with the same Enduraform material, so durability should be the same. Overall, STX went with the mentality, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So instead of re-engineering the entire head, they just made some small upgrades from the 900. It comes in $99 unstrung, which is again standard for MIDI heads. I predict that the 1K will absolutely be one of the most popular MIDI heads you're going to see heading into 2024. The 2nd best midfield head of 2023 is the ECD Mirage 2 Graphene. Now, I recently just did a review on the ECD Mirage 2, which is a phenomenal head for attackmen or midfielders. So if you want to learn more about that head, go check out that video. Because what I have here is the same exact head, but the graphene version. And I know what you're thinking. What is graphene? Graphene is a material that makes lacrosse heads extremely lightweight, yet extremely stiff. so that they won't break very easily. This is the best of both worlds, right? ECD was the first company to come out with graphene in their lacrosse heads, and they've continued to come out with graphene versions of their products over the years. The only downside to graphene is that it's a more expensive material. So the ECD Mirage 2 Graphene comes in at $124 unstrung. However, with this head, you're getting a version of the Mirage 2 that is lighter and stronger for only an extra 25 bucks. To me, that's a pretty good bargain if you're thinking about the long-term value of a head. As a midfielder, having a super lightweight and strong head is a major advantage out there on the field. And here we are, guys, we made it, number one. The number one best midfield head of 2023 is the ECD DNA 2. And I know what you guys are thinking, how much money is ECD paying Steve to put their products at the top of this list? And the answer is $0. They're not paying me anything. I'm not sponsored, so be sure to smash that subscribe button below if you want to see this channel grow and make more awesome lacrosse content. Now, I know this may be controversial, putting the DNA 2 at the top of this list because this head just came out this past summer, but here is why. The DNA 1, the previous version of this head, was one of the best-selling ECD products of all time. It was universally loved by all players, especially LSMs and defenders, because that head was a little bit heavier. Now, this past summer, ECD released the DNA 2 with some serious upgrades. They made it noticeably lighter, dropping the weight from 6 ounces to 5.5 ounces unstrung, and they did this while maintaining its stiffness. They really made it warp resistant to the heat, especially. They adjusted the face shape so that the pocket sits a little bit higher, and it's a more pinched face shape as well, which is ideal for offensive middies or two-way middies. Previously, the DNA 1 was advertised as a head for everyone. Defenders used it, LSMs, middies, offensive middies, attack, everyone was using the DNA 1. But with the DNA 2 being lighter and slightly more pinched, it really lends itself to offensive middies or two-way middies. For example, PLL Pro Ryan Drenner uses this head, and he's typically running as an offensive midi. But I could see any type of midfielder, even LSMs who prefer a more pinched face shape, gravitate towards this head because of the stiffness that comes with it. Overall, because this head is so versatile for so many different midfield positions, that makes the DNA 2 the best midfield head of 2023. Combine all of that with the fact that it's $99 unstrung, the average price of a midi head, it can't be beat. Now, with that being said, all links for these heads will be in the description below, so if you want to check them out, go click those links below. And I want you to let me know, what is your favorite midi head? Let me know in the comment section. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? What did we leave off the list? Comment below and be sure to subscribe to the channel because we have a ton more lacrosse reviews on the way. I'll see you guys next time.